Nintendo, please don't screw this up. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So Nintendo are apparently making a brand new console next year, and it's gonna be a new revision on the Nintendo Switch. New Nintendo Switch, as you will. So this was reported by the Wall Street Journal, and it's saying that in late 2019, a new Nintendo Switch console revision will be coming out. So this could mean improved hardware, maybe exclusive games, things like that, and that's a big issue. I'm really worried about this. I'm really concerned. It could go good, it could go bad, but overall, it is a massive dilemma that needs to be addressed. So let's address it. So, one thing it talks about is a brand new screen that possibly may happen, because apparently the Switch screen now isn't up to date with the latest smartphone screens. So apparently the latest smartphone screens have better battery consumption when it comes to the screen, and they might look a bit better, so they want to incorporate that into the Nintendo Switch. Even though that's quite confusing, because I thought the Switch screen looks pretty great already, so I guess a better screen is better, but I think the Switch screen looks pretty good, so that's quite shocking, honestly. But if it can save on battery life, that would be fantastic, because the Switch battery life is so minimal, it's so low. It's like 1.5 hours if you're playing a decent game. If you're not playing some indie game, if you're playing like Breath of the Wild, or Super Mario Odyssey, or Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, or Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, you're gonna need a longer battery life, because it's like laptops have the same amount of battery life when gaming, if not a bit more. So why play the Switch when you can play a laptop which has like humongous games? I don't know. I guess maybe for the portability factor, because laptops, obviously they're huge, so they're quite hard to take around, whereas a Switch is just, look, I've just got my little Switch, I'll play my Switch. So that's probably the reason, but either way, I just feel like it needs to be improved somewhat. But the big thing that concerns me that I just mentioned were the games. So my big worry right here is that they're going to make exclusive games for this new Nintendo Switch, rather than make them for both systems. And even if they make them for both systems, I'm also worried about optimization. So basically, the new Nintendo 3DS and the regular 3DS, they could play most of the same games together, but the new 3DS had a couple of exclusives. It had Xenoblade Chronicles, and it had Fire Emblem Warriors. Those were the exclusives, not great exclusives, so I guess it doesn't really matter that much, but still they were exclusives that 3DS owners could not play ever. And then we got games that were made for both, but the optimization was terrible for the 3DS. So, Pokemon Sun and Moon. Those games, really great games by the way. I love Pokemon Sun and Moon, they are fantastic. But oh my god, they run like crap on the 3DS. The battles in the 3DS version, if it's not a 1v1 and it's a 2v2, bam, that's it. The frame rate drops, it screeches to a halt. It's absolutely disgustingly bad. But on the new 3DS, it runs fine. Like, it runs absolutely fine. But on the old one, no, it's crap. So it really punishes those early adopters of the 3DS. And I guess they've had the console more than the people who would buy the new 3DS, but it still punishes them for being more loyal. It's kind of a crap situation. And then we come to new Nintendo Switch, and the same thing could happen. So they could optimize games for the new Nintendo Switch, but then just leave the old Switch alone, and the games run like crap on there. So that would be a huge concern, and I get it, I totally get it, guys. They want to keep up and have third-party games on the Switch. They want to stay in the market. What do? You upgrade your hardware, because the hardware right now on the regular old Nintendo Switch is not the best thing in the world. It's not really that powerful. So let's say next year, there's going to be barely any games that could possibly even run on there that are like current third-party releases. It can run the old stuff just fine. That's why we're getting all these old ports, these old third-party ports, these Wii U ports, because they run absolutely fine on the Switch. But when it comes to current-gen multi-platform games, that's one thing the Switch can't do. And maybe Nintendo wants to get into that market. And what's the only way you can do that now? It's to upgrade the hardware. That's all you can really do. But then that leaves the old Switch users in the dust, because they bought the Switch, Nintendo being advertising the hell out of the Switch. It'd be kind of crappy for Nintendo, after advertising and pushing the Switch so hard right now, to say next year, bam, here's 100 times better new Nintendo Switch that improves on literally everything the old Switch did, and it has better game performance. That would be quite bad. Now, I get it if they want to release a new Switch and it has a better battery life and a better screen, and that's fair enough. If they got performance behind the new Switch, I think that's when it's crossing the line. But like I said, that's also a dilemma. Because what do Nintendo really do here? Do they stick with the old hardware forever and never get new third-party games on the Switch? Or do they upgrade the hardware and leave the old Switch users in the dust for them to wait and buy the new Switch? It's really tough. Now, my ideal situation would be for Nintendo to release a peripheral for the old Switch users so that they can run the same games as the new Nintendo Switch. But I just don't know how that would work in handheld mode. I just have no idea how that would work. But it's the only thing I could see. I just think it's kind of it's just tough. Like that, at the end of the day, this is a massive dilemma right here. What do Nintendo do? Do they alienate their old users? Or do they never progress? It's tough. If you guys have any ideas on what they could possibly do to fix this massive issue, I think it's a massive issue anyways, let me know in the comments below. But what do you think of this whole situation? Do you think a new Switch is incoming? Are you going to pick it up? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching this video. Nothing else to say. Just, Nintendo, please find a way to do this right. And with all that said, guys, peace out, my dudes.